All right, good afternoon. My name is Roger Whitesell, and as you can see, I've got the ocean in the background. That is very soothing to me. Anyway, today we are going to do a demo for possibly being a tutor for the GMAT with the Princeton Review. And I want to just give a little sample of my teaching style. So I would like to do an example that I did for Revolution Prep. And by the way, it is April 3rd, 2021. And we are the day before Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Okay, so I just want to get a sense of how long this is going to take to present. So at this point, I'm going to share my screen. So here we go. This is the one that I did before, and this example is kind of interesting because it talks about stocks, and I love the stock market. Well, I shouldn't love it because I lose money, but sometimes I win. Anyway, I checked the stock market and I found a stock that was about $100 3 years ago, and that stock was Disney. So let's just pretend we're dealing with Disney stock, and this is the information we have. The changes in the stock price from 1 year to the next for 3 consecutive years were a 20% increase, a 25% decrease, and then a 60% increase. What was the amount of increase of the stock over the 3 years? All right, so just for my own preference, I like to get a visual of what I'm dealing with. I know that this is going to be a percentage problem, but I kind of want to visualize what's happening here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to set a baseline here. And I better get a color that I can see. And the color is going to be black, but it's good to get all of these little errors out of the way. So here we go. I'm going to do my baseline here. And we are just going to visualize what we're doing here. So we have a 20% increase, a 25% decrease, and a 60% increase. So let's just start with $100 on the first year. So let's just put in $100, and maybe we want to make that a little bit smaller. So we're going to start at $100, and then we're going to go back to our drawing a line here. So we're going to start at $100, and it says we're going to go up by 20%. In the second year, we're going to go down by 25%. And it, just as a reminder, we're going down 25% from that point. So we're going to go below the initial 100, and then we're going to go up. We had a really good year in the third year, and we are going to go up 60%. So what we need to do is to determine this point, and this point, because we want to know what happened over the course of the 3 years. We're given 3 possibilities here, but we don't want to guess. So let us just take an approach to this. So we're starting with $100. And we're going to add 30%. Well, that's going, I mean, we're going to add 20%. And we can see that that's going to be $120. So at this point, I'm just going to put 120 right there. So at that point, we're at 120. So this is year number 1. Year number 2 coming up. In year number 2, we are going to be taking 100. That's our new baseline. And we're going to be subtracting 25%. And how do we do that? Well, there's 2 ways we can do that. We can take 25% of 120, and let's just do it that way. We're going to take 120. When we do multiplication of a percentage, we're going to use it in the decimal form. So we're going to do 0.25. And that's the same as dividing by 4. So 120 divided by 4 is going to be $30. And that's going to be 120 minus 30, which is going to give us $90. So right here is going to be $90. All right, our final point is going to be up here. Now our new baseline is $90. So let's go ahead and put that in here. So we're going to have $90, and this time we're going to add 60%. And we'll just do it this way. We'll take 90%, and we want to take 60% of that. So we're going to take 0.60, and we're going to come up with, any idea what that's going to turn out to be? I think it's going to be $54, but let's just double check that. We're going to have 90 times 0.6, and we're going to get $54. Great, comes out to be the same thing as last time. So at this point, I can say, all right, I was at 90. So I take my $90 and I add my $54. And I come up with a final price of $144. So that's my final point up here. That's what we ended up with after 3 years. The last thing I guess we want to do, and this is kind of why I chose such an easy number here, I wanted to have this thing come out to be an easy percentage. So if I make this calculation now, I'm going to have 144 minus my starting price of 100 gives me a price of $44. And if I take 44 and I divide that by 100, I'm going to get, lo and behold, I'm going to get 40%. So that will be the total amount that it changed from the beginning of year 1 to the end of year 3. And this does kind of look like what has occurred, something like this in 2020 was just a bad year. So probably it did go down a significant amount like that. And hopefully 2021 is going to look like this. So anyway, let's just assume that our stock market is going to continue to go up. This is Disney stock, or at least this stock went up by 40% over a 3-year period. All right, any questions at this point? A pretty straightforward problem, but I wanted to just kind of demonstrate my approach. One of the things that I just wanted to emphasize is that when I start out a problem, I like to have some sort of a visual representation of what I'm doing. So I put out this general graph right from the beginning, and then I determined what it was that I needed to calculate. So I knew I was starting at 100. I chose this arbitrarily because we're dealing with percentages, so this number does not really matter. But I want to work with numbers that are easy to calculate. So I went up by 20%, got to 120. I went down by 25%, and then I went up by 60%, ended up with this number. And I think that's all we needed to do on this problem. Thank you very much.